Welcome into the Pats Nation. I'm Corso Catone is here. Joe was just there on the screen, and
he goes and hides. He goes into hiding
like a little Easter egg.
Joe just ran into his booth, and you are watching us on definitely. Joe, have you had your Bloody Mary yet today? I think Joe works better once he has his Bloody Mary on a Sunday morning. You know,
listen,
right off the bat.
When we get into this roster and we get into the picks, it's going to be a lot of Bloody Marys, I think, on Sunday mornings this year, Joe.
Yeah,
we're definitely going to need that, and we're happy to have you in watching us on YouTube, listening on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you podcast. And when you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. You know what? I say the same thing every week. Subscribe. Give us that thumbs up. Like the show. It's what we're looking for. Comment on it. Give us a call and Heated Hotline. Let us know your thoughts. 855-313-PATS, P-A-T-S. And make sure you're keeping that number handy for our Patriots postgame show. I'll get into that in a second. But you can also email us on our mailbag, corso.catone@gmail.com. We got a good one. We're going to talk a little bit more about roster. Yesterday, we talked on Corso Catone about the roster. We're going to cover it a little bit more today on the final roster. And we're going to have our preseason picks now, our final picks of the season for the wins and losses. So make sure you're sticking on the second half of this show to listen to that. But good morning. Good morning. Hi, guys.
Listen, 1 week. I can't wait, Chris. One more week. 1 week. We've been waiting. It seems like we've been waiting forever since Vrabel got hired, right? Well, now we got 1 week to go. You know.
So you can't wait for this mess to begin, huh?
Oh, listen. I don't care. It's football. I don't care. You don't care either. We just want to watch real football, right?
I'll tell you what I can't wait for, and I know all of you out there can't wait for. The Patriots, the Pats Nation Patriots postgame show, the only Patriots postgame show worth watching, is back. We're gonna come to you live on YouTube and all the other outlets that I mentioned against the Dolphins on September 14th for that Week 2 matchup. Mark and I and Joe will be on roughly 15 to 30 minutes following that game. Make sure you get on YouTube.
Edition, because we don't do this. We're not doing this every week, but we're going to pick our spots this year when we want to do it, right?
So it will be a post-game show. Hey, we're going to have Drake Mania. We're going to have our Sunday Stiff and tell you who the worst player of the day was.
We can't bring back Edgar and Roberts or Juwan Bentley, so we're going to have a new Sunday Stiff.
We'll have a new Sunday Stiff. We'll have Coach's Corner and so much more. So make sure on September 14th, you're sticking around 30 minutes following that game against the Dolphins. We will have, it's the only post-game show worth watching. So make sure you're still tuning into that. And we'll have Heated Hotline, live call-ins, live comments, live emails. So make sure you're sticking around for that. But today, guys, want to get into that roster a little more? Do you really want to? I mean,
we got to get into it because I know you got a lot to say today, Chris. Listen, on Corso Catone, I thought we were going to have to call. I was going to text your wife and say, go get a nitroglycerin or something for him. You were going ballistic.
That's unreal. Unbelievable. Well, let's talk about it. We're going to do it in Weekly Rewind, Joe. Going back through the week. About a Weekly Rewind.
Giants game was just more evidence of what I talked about last week, which is my, number one fear about this team and why I've downgraded them is they have zero depth. There's so many places all over this roster that if one guy goes down, there's like nothing behind them and they're screwed. Like, for example, like Robert Spillane or, Will Campbell, they don't have much. So that's the stuff that scares me because, unless they have the greatest injury luck of all time, they're going to sustain some major injuries, and that's where it's going to get exposed. And against the Giants, I mean, their backups and third stringers are going up against the Giants, and they stunk. I mean, they've gotten boat raced, have not looked good in the last two preseason games going up against backup and third stringers.
And that was, of course, Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal talking about the Patriots' lack of depth and this roster that we're going to now get into. And they one less guy on the roster that they cut was Peppers. Jabril Peppers has been cut, released, or whatever you call it, by the Patriots. So he's no longer on this roster either. Mark, you know what I saw? Listen to the piggybacking off what Bedard said. In that Giants game, you know what it said to me? More so than anything. was the amount of time that wasn't spent with the backups on this team by the coaching staff. It's not something you really hear about, but you can tell that this roster is just deficient in so many areas, and they have so much work to do that I think the coaching staff, their main focus was on the ones and twos. That's it. In this off season and in preseason, I don't even think they bothered much with the depth on this roster, coaching them up, because you could see it in that Giants game. They were terrible. So not only do they have lack of depth talent wise, I don't think it's being coached up well on the back with the backups. They're not really, you know.
All right,
what I mean?
so I'll say this, Chris. I'll agree with you in this sense. Yeah. I don't think they spent much time with them. You're right. I don't think they were being coached up. And I don't think they were being coached up because I think Vrabel looked at the back end of this roster and said to himself, these guys shouldn't even be on NFL rosters, but we have no other choice. I mean, we're going to fill out 53 men. But the bottom 20, if I had my way, it wouldn't be on a roster. They'll be going too. But the bottom 20 guys, I don't have he has to keep them, right? The backups, he's got to keep, depth. But so.
Got to field the team.
You got to field the team because when he got here, Chris, you said this immediately. Mark, wait until he looks at tape of this team. He's going to say what, and then he sees them on the field at OTAs and in training camp. He's going to realize this is hard. And he did. He quickly realized, I think that this, I don't know what I got myself into. This roster is terrible. But I think he did know it because if you looked at what they did in free agency, Chris, he tried to bring in guys that could start. Every guy he brought in wasn't a depth piece. Every guy he signed pretty much was like, okay, he'll be a starter. He'll be a plug-in starter. He'll be a plug-in starter because he knew he didn't have anybody that could start. There's only so much money you had to go around and so many draft picks, Chris. So I don't think they didn't care. But to your point, they didn't care about the depth. He was trying to get plug-in guys that could start because the starting roster was so bad. So now you get the training camp. Are you going to spend time with a guy that shouldn't be on your roster? You cross your fingers. You never have to go to him. We're going to concentrate on the ones and twos because we put together a mismatch of guys now to try to, do something. I think you're 100% right with that, Chris. But I think it was out of default. He had to. What else could he do?
No, and you can't blame him. I mean, look.
I don't think it was intentional. It was by he had to.
Listen, just think about. I said to you, yes, what we talked about in February, and I said he's going to look at this team obviously offensively because that's everybody was focused just on the offense. And I said to you, not only the offense, but he's going to walk into that defensive room and he's going to watch tape on that defense. And he's going to rip that whole defense. That whole defense is going to be a shell of what they were last season. You're not going to see any of these guys. And you're like, nah, that's not. I mean, oh, yeah, watch. Bentley's gone. Peppers is gone. Duggar Wannet gone. I mean, Dietrich Weiss gone. Godchow gone. Like, he wiped.
And Chris, he only
Bentley,
kept Duggar because of
the basically.
He kept Duggar because of the salary.
Right. I mean, all their captains are gone. And Mark,
think about that, Chris. Every defensive captain is gone. Think about that.
Bentley's gone. Peppers, Cardona, Andrews, Brissett, Weiss, all gone from this team. He hates this roster. Maybe
press conference. He said something to the effect, "Well, what we have now isn't going to be the roster come, week one." Remember he made that comment?
Different. Yeah.
We're going to look very different. Maybe he made that comment. And you were like, Mark, he knows how bad this team is, right?
Can I just go through this little exercise? We did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I want to do it again with the drafts. This will be your opportunity to, to down the greatest coach that ever lived. You can.
Oh, Joe. Doing it again, Joe. He's stroking him again. No.
This is your opportunity. So these are their drafts since 2000. Well, first, let me just say this. There's only 11 guys left on this team since 2020 for the four, Belichick's draft. There's only 11 guys left. But 2020's draft, the only guys left on this team are Duggar, Jennings, and Owinu. Guys like Uche, Asiasi, Keene. Remember those guys?
Asiasi. Oh,
those
my
tight
God.
ends that they took 2 in a row
Chris,
and traded up.
They traded up for Asiasi or Keene, one of them.
Keene, I think it was.
It was Keene.
So,
yeah,
so there's only 3 guys left on that team. The 2021, you had Mac Jones gone. Bondmore still here. Perkins gone. McGroon gone. Bledsoe, Sherman, Nixon gone. Stevenson still here. So out of that draft class, out of those 8 guys, Bondmore and Stevenson, the only 2 guys left there. And one of them can't stop putting the ball on the ground. Anyway, okay. Then you get to the 22 draft, which may be the worst one ever. It may be. Cole Strange, gone. Tyquan Thornton, gone. Jack Jones, gone. P.S. Strong, gone. Zappi, gone. Harris, gone. Roberts, gone. The other 2 guys, who cares? They're gone. Marcus Jones is the only guy from Marcus Jones, who's a nickel, slot corner return guy. That's the only guy that's
Chris,
on
that
on this
draft
roster.
was so bad. McVay from the Rams. Remember, that was the draft. He was sitting in his draft
laughing his ass off.
They were making fun of us. Remember?
About Cole Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should have made fun of us. 2023 got a little better. Christian Gonzalez is still there. Keon White. But again, these guys are still unknowns, though. These guys are still have to prove themselves. But Gonzalez, White, Mapu, Booty, Barringer, and Demario Douglas are all still on this team. But the linemen gone. Sal, Mafi, those Jake Andrews, all those guys are gone. Those are all offensive linemen gone. Okay. And then you got last year, okay, which you can't put on Bill. But last year, the only guy left is May. You got Polk. Polk's on IR, but he's pretty much gone. Wallace is on this team. I don't know how, but he's a hair away from getting cut. Robinson gone. Javon Baker gone. Dial on the IR. Milton gone. Jaheim Bell gone. That's it. There's your draft, buddy. What do you think of that?
Wow.
Think of that. So then how on earth can people look at this and say, we're going to win 10 games. We're going to win 11. You can't do that in this league. You can't punt on all these drafts. You basically punted on the 2024 draft. You got nothing left from that draft except your quarterback, who still has to prove himself.
So you're right. How do you, if you're drafting that poorly, Chris, over the last 5 years, how do you build a roster? You can't build a roster like that, Chris. It's impossible.
And then the guys they got left, Mark, are still guys that are front tier. Nobody's a top 10. Look, Kyle Duggar, he almost got cut. Jennings, another guy. Owino, we still don't know. They paid Owino, but we don't know.
Duggar
Bondmore
and Jennings are hanging on by a string.
Right. You got Bondmore, still has something to prove. Stevenson can't stop fumbling the ball. Marcus Jones is a number 3 corner slot guy that returns punts. Christian Gonzalez, always hurt. Pansy ass. Get back on the field.
I don't listen to me. I don't want to hear you with Gonzalez. I love the pick when I was screaming to take Smith to Jiba. I don't know, Mark, what he's going to be. This kid Gonzalez is a star in the making.
Well, it is. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl corner, but is he going to stay healthy?
And Smith Najiba caught 100 catches last year, 100 balls. We don't have anybody that can catch 20, for Christ's sakes. That's how bad our receiver room is.
Right.
We're wheeling guys out there. They look like they came out of the MASH unit. The guys we get out there, for Christ's sake.
off the shelf of Kmart,
Kmart. What the Kmart?
They still have Kmart.
I haven't had Kmart in 20 years, you dinosaur.
So, good thing I didn't say Apex. So, Keon White, another guy that we're bitching and complaining about. We're going to bitch about him in a few minutes. Mapu, another guy that's yet to prove it. Booty, Douglas. Again, these aren't like top 10 guys at their position either.
Chris, I'm going to tell you what makes it worse. You're 1,000%
blood pressure makes it worse.
But listen, you're 1,000% right about this roster and how bad the drafts are. But you know what makes it worse? If we went back, and I know we can't because we've burned them, thrown them out, thrown up on them. If we go back and look at our boards and look at our what we had in our books, look at the guys you passed on to draft these guys. Not only did you draft these stiffs, think of the guys that they passed on in their draft room. They passed on Ladd McConkey. They trade down to take Polk. I'm just going to use that as a glaring example.
Dean. Guys guys you loved, they didn't take them. They passed on them to take these stiffs. To say nothing about N'Keal Harry, that pick.
Since 2000, please, Harry, you take Harry, Chris. You pass on A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuel. You passed on 4 All-Pros to take Harry. And forget the fact, Chris, we have an issue at center field, safety, center field. You've picked like 5 All-Pros in the last 5 drafts, and they're not first-round picks. You pick guys 3rd, 4th round, take a shot. All these guys are starting on NFL rosters, these safeties that you've liked in rounds 3, 4, 5. We don't take one of them. We don't take a shot on any of them, and we still don't have a replacement at that position.
Well, so, I mean, when we come, I'm going to go to break. When we come back, I want to talk wide receivers a little bit. I want to talk about the defense. But this portion of Weekly Rewind was presented by Corso Catone, the real deal, New England Field, Saturdays, noon Eastern. Hey, we got Catone's comments, Yankees, Red Sox, of course, the Patriots next week. We're going to dive into that Patriots-Raiders game, so make sure you tune into that. But we come back, going to stay in Weekly Rewind, talk wideouts, defense, and so much more. No flipping.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more
Corso and Catone. Saturdays at noon.
It's news to me. And I mean, I think that we just, again, try to put the roster together, man. I guess when it doesn't work out, you break up with somebody, your girlfriend doesn't want to be with you, and then you say, well, I don't want to be with you either. I'm not going to get into all that.
So was that?
I just said I'm not going to get into it. It was just like, Like, we're not going to go back and forth here. Yeah. We're trying to build a roster. You got to move on from some guys. You make connections with guys. You coach them. They earn opportunities. They get more opportunities. They take advantage of them. And that's kind of how these things go.
That, of course, was Mike, an irritated, miserable Mike Vrabel talking to the media about being asked about Kendrick Bourne. And they're asking him the question, Kendrick Bourne said he asked for the release. You said you were going to release him. And he starts talking about breaking up with the girlfriend and how all that goes. And, I think that the Patriots told him in 5th period math class. And I think Bourne said it in 7th period gym is what happened.
Look at him.
So I think the Patriots got there first. I think they did it. They broke up with him, I think.
All right.
But you hear him, because I want you to talk about the wide receiver room now. And you hear him talk about Bourne. And I don't know if he's irritated, Mark. I don't know if he's irritated because he's being asked about a stiff of a player.
Well, Chris, plus he's being asked about a guy, Chris, who hasn't been out on the field in 3 weeks.
Right.
Maybe he's pissed because he thought he didn't push himself to get back on the field, too. I don't know.
That's how bad your roster is. When the media and the focus of the week is surrounding a guy like Bourne, and I'm hearing media people say, why wouldn't you sign a guy like that? You're worried about a couple of $1 million? I mean, you can't put a guy like that can maybe help you, your team on this roster. Like, do you not get it? Like, and Vrabel's irritation with it is, what are you guys looking at? He stinks. Kendrick Bourne stinks. Go ahead into it.
Chris,
elaborate on that.
Listen, one of the best offensive minds in football is Shanahan, right? With San Francisco. If Shanahan thought he could contribute and do anything, do you honestly think he would have let him walk out the door and come here in the first place? We signed him at the time for cheap money, Chris. When you think about the wide receiver position, it was cheap money. Do you think Shanahan wouldn't have given up that amount of cheap money?
Especially with what was going on with Deebo Samuel at the time, but it's not getting in shape, getting out of weight, right?
So you think he would have let Bourne walk out the door back then? Of course he wouldn't have. He knew. He knew what he had. He's nothing. And then they're like, if you part ways with Bourne, San Francisco will be interested. Maybe you could. San Francisco, we cleared waivers. They don't want him. They didn't pick the phone up. Shanahan don't want Kendrick Bourne. What are these people? These people around here, Chris, are delusional. I don't know what they're watching. I don't know what they think. This guy's gave you a flash here or there. Never did anything consistent for you since he's been here.
Nice guy, but
real nice guy. Maybe locker room guy, maybe. But what the hell's he giving you on the field, Chris? He's giving you nothing.
Nothing. And again, it's just more indication of you need things to talk about in the media because the roster's so friggin' bad. And you know what? It's conspicuous. Listen, you're talking about Kendrick Bourne. Nothing's being discussed about Diggs. I haven't heard a peep about Stephon Diggs. Nothing. This is supposed to be our number one. This is supposed to be the guy that you picked up that's going to carry some of this offense and help make Drake May the player he needs to be. It's crickets. It's crickets. You're not hearing any buzz.
No.
That's how bad this roster is. And the receiving core is just as bad as it was last year.
Vrabel made reference, Chris, to Diggs last week, saying, "Well, I expect him to, we expect him to be ready. We expect, not saying, he's all set, ready to go. We expect him to be ready. He
hasn't spoken to the media in over a month, Diggs.
Mark, I think it's time for the boat video. Resurface.
Chris, he's got to bring. See, I didn't say anything about the boat.
Listen, they put Diggs on the boat in the new uniform and the picture of him on the boat.
Oh, put it up. No, they didn't get him on the boat. They got him on a boat.
They put him. They're on like a boat background. It's like a shit, the whole nautical nonsense, all that stuff about the northeast.
Oh, would you kill the boat video, Joe?
Well, listen, seriously though. So to kick it back to what we're saying is. The whole point of what Mark and I are saying is the roster sucks. It's not good. So your wide receiver room is just, to me, okay, maybe it's a hair better or potential. See, this whole roster is littered with potential, the unknown potential. 2 rookies playing on the left side of the offensive line, probably. And the big problem is, do we play Wilson? Because we can't. Should we have 2 rookies playing? That's the reason they're not playing.
If you don't play Wilson, Chris, who's playing left guard?
Right. I mean, Wallace, he stinks. So the point is, it's right. They're an injury away, and then on the defensive side of the ball, Mark, you could start with this right now.
Keon White has fallen behind. Not only he's fallen behind Kayvon Chaisson at defensive end. I wonder if he's also behind Elijah Ponder. Because Keon White, and to Vrabel's credit, I saw him, I think it was the practice before the Giants preseason game. I saw Vrabel working one-on-one with Keon White on his pass rush moves. I mean, he just
before the last preseason
he's more Simon
game,
this year. There were some freelancing problems the past couple years. He's graded out well for me in the preseason games, but he doesn't have any pass rush moves. He's just a power guy, where Elijah Ponder's got a lot more juice to him, a lot more agility, a variety of pass rush moves. So to me, he's definitely been ascending, and I would be shocked if he's not on this team as an undrafted free agent.
That was Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal. Talking about Ponder, and he is, and Chaisson, but it's more of an indictment on White with his big mouth. I didn't get the coach. You go to coach. You go. Oh, okay. Well, you got the coaching now. Where are you?
He's a one-trick pony, and I think Vrabel's trying to teach him other things, and he hasn't. Obviously, he hasn't grasped anything because Chaisson. It wasn't even a competition, Chris. Let's put it this way: Bedard's being kind. Chaisson moved ahead of him in the depth chart, but there wasn't even a competition.
No,
White
it wasn't
even close to him in training camp.
They didn't push each other at all.
No.
So, I mean, to me, that starting group is going to consist of not Keon White now. It's going to consist of Chaisson, Bondmore, Milton Williams, and then Tonga, who you have to have. Landry, when you get to the backers. Yeah, Landry.
But I think, Chris, you said before the season started, when you made your predictions for wins, now we're going to see in a few minutes what that is now. You said, well, I think Keon White's going to have 10, 12 sacks this year.
Yeah, he's going to have to, he should, and he could, and I don't understand what the hell's happening with this kid.
I don't even know if he's going to see the field. Never mind 10 to 12 sacks.
I think you're right. You may be right. And it's sickening, and it pisses you off because he's got all the physical gifts.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, Keon, if you can't learn from this coaching staff, you're not learning from anybody. And believe me when I tell you, others around the league see this too. So don't think you're going to walk in and stop bitching and complaining that you want to trade and anybody else gives a shit. Because if Mike Vrabel can't turn you into a good pass rusher, nobody's going to.
Well, Chris, we could have traded for a good edge guy this week. He got traded to Green Bay, Micah Parsons.
You just want me to say that I would have done it. That's why. that I would have done it. I would have done it. I don't care. Look at how I just went through 5 years of drafts, of suck drafts. They got 11 guys on this team from 5 years, 4 years worth of drafts. You think I give a shit about 2 first-round picks right now? With this group, you got Elliot Wolf, that rat weasel, still in the room, picking guys. Give them away then. I don't care. It's not my money. Give the $130 million. I don't care. Pay them. This is a generational pass rusher.
Yeah.
For every year of his career, he's had 12 plus sacks. You know the only other guy to have that?
No.
Reggie White.
Okay, well, there you go. So that's generational then. Yeah, that's generational. Yeah.
He's
So
26 years old. Yes, do the deal. Who cares? Oh, we need those
do the deal.
We need those first round picks. We gotta make sure we get Kate. We gotta make sure we draft a guy like this kid, like what's his name? Who do we draft him for? Will Campbell. Gotta get that guy on the team. or what? Next year's another draft where you're saying there's no wide receivers in this draft. So we'll just take what's left.
Hey, Chris, next year,
then. Yeah.
Next year, is it another year where there's only maybe, you're not going to have a bunch of wide receivers up and down that draft board. The following year, you will. It's a much better wide receiver draft. So, you're right. Maybe you should have just, you should have got involved in that war for him.
Right. Because maybe it wouldn't have been 2 first. Because
and I know a lot of people around here locally say, well, you can't give that kind of money to one defensive guy.
Who cares?
You got to give it to
money.
You got to save the money for wide receivers and skilled guys. Well, but you haven't done that in 10 years, 20 years. So what makes you think you're going to spend it on anybody and wide receiver? You're not going to spend it on them anyway. So
you need to put generational player. You got a generational player. Put talent on your team. You don't have talent on your team. Put it on your team. Then it changes the whole makeup of your defense. Well, anyway, you got to get me going on that right now. So where were we?
You were finishing up talking about White.
Yeah. So the defensive line. So the defensive line, Mark, which we thought this is going to be the strength of this team. It's going to be a top 10 defense. Okay. So you look at them. Then you go to the safety room now, and Duggar's here, but Peppers is now gone. Is this anything other than a money thing that they overpaid Peppers?
That was money.
Duggar to begin with, and so
that was
now,
money. You're stuck with him for another year
because they're 2 guys that don't fit your system and your scheme.
Yep. They're
guys that play, and I know everybody out there has heard that all week long. So what does it mean? That means they play in the box. They're not coverage safeties. And simply put.
And if Vrabel's system, you need to be a coverage safety.
And you're going to play some man coverage is going to happen. And so the 2 starting safeties on this team are going to be, what's his name?
Woodson, the rookie.
Hawkins and Woodson.
Woodson, the rookie, yeah.
That's it. So if Gonzalez is going to continue to be a pansy ass and not get on the field.
That's a problem.
In the corner room. How do you feel about this defense now?
Yeah. Well, listen, in order for this defense, Chris, to be anything close to what people thought the potential they had, again, I'm going to use the word potential because like you say, Chris, that's all we can talk about with this team. Gonzalez and Davis have to play like all pro corners, which I think they can. And if they do,
well, at least Gonzalez does for sure.
Yeah, now maybe you got a shot, right? Now maybe you got a shot with those.
And then maybe Woodson is covers kids. Maybe I heard coming out of the draft, I knew he would be a free safety. I knew he could play that spot, and maybe it can happen. And then you get the middle of the field where you get Spillane. I love Spillane.
Yeah,
But after him, Mapu, Ellis, Tavai is on the gonna return.
Yeah, I don't know if Tavai will ever see the field though, Chris. Even
Gibbons,
if he returns, he'll be a bench guy.
It's a real thin team, Mark.
It is thin. It's real thin. Real thin.
Thin all around. But they got Tommy DeVito at quarterback.
Tommy Cutlets. I love it. Tommy Cutlets. Maybe the family will come out here, Chris, and do the tailgating. They brought in like 50 pounds of chicken cutlets to the Giants and started passing out sandwiches.
My son's favorite player loves. He texted me immediately. You didn't see who we picked up today.
Yeah,
loves Tommy DeVito. Loves him. The only Giants anything he ever owned was a shirt, a T-shirt of DeVito. So Mark, I mean, so to you, this is a big problem, isn't it?
It is a big problem.
Yep. And so now, when we come back,
oh boy,
we're going to take all of that information that we just gave you about how bad this roster actually now is.
Joe's got him at 12 wins.
and we're going to go and give our picks. But this weekly rewind was presented by Corso Law Group, corsolawgroup.com. We come back. Stick around. Our picks are next.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Call or go online to corsolawgroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys.
Back in with more Corso Catone, the real deal New England feel. All right. Are you guys ready to give our picks?
Let's go. Listen, I've been waiting
We're doing it.
all week for the picks.
Let's do it in Pat's preview. Joe?
Pat's preview.
The system spit out that this team is going to the playoffs. Wow! Wow! The New England Patriots are in the playoffs. I knew it. In a way that I gotta tell you, I love. What's his dad? I believe terrible coach to really good one. Yeah. Soft schedule. Yep. Better quarterback, not because you changed quarterbacks in this case, but just because it's year 2. All of the little bonus things. Play Miami in your building in week 18. Love it. That's a win. It's going to be 0 degrees. I'm telling you right now.
0.
Week 12, Cincinnati. The Patriots win that game, and that's the tiebreaker head-to-head that sends them to the playoffs as the 7th seed. Listen, trust me, America, I don't want to be on this guy's side.
Okay, that was the Nick Wright podcast talking about the Patriots being a playoff team, Mark. They're going to beat Cincinnati, and they're going to get 0-degree weather come that Miami game in whenever it's going to be, December, January, right? 0 degrees. Don't they know about global warming?
Well, the only thing with the Cincinnati game this year, Chris, is it's not. Last year, you had perfect timing when you played Cincinnati. You played in week 1.
Yeah.
Now you're getting them in week 12.
They're going to wipe our ass for us.
If Cincinnati's healthy and Burrow and Chase and those guys are rolling, they're going to probably score 40 on you, and you got a problem. They're going to wipe your ass, like you just said with you. You're not going to win that game in Cincinnati in week 12. Week 1 or 2, that was a different story. Not week 12, you're not.
Well, I'm already putting the L's on that one. All right, let's start. Let's go. Well, Joe, are you ready to go? Can you put yourself on the screen or what? What do you say? Do you want to not be seen today?
You don't want to be seen. At least he's got to have his audio on.
I
At least he's got the audio on.
I have my picks right here. What I previously wrote down, scribbled out, and
Well, I have them here. So let me remind you both and everybody out there. Back in April 17th, 2025, May 17th, we did this exercise. And Mark and I had him at 9-8, and Joe had him at 8-9. Okay? Mm-hmm. So let's go. Kicking off against the Las Vegas Raiders, the first home game of the season. Mark, what do you got?
I'm going to say.
By the way, we're going to break this game down next week too. Just so
I'm going to still say it's a win. I think I picked it as a win at the beginning, and I'm going to stick with it. And I know, Chris, you have a strong opinion on this game that we're going to get into next week, but I'm going to say win.
Okay, Joe.
I got him as a win as well. I'm keeping that score.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had it as a win. Now I have it as a loss.
Okay.
They're not going to have any answer for what they got on offense, Bowers, and as far as defense goes, I'm very, very concerned about the pass rush for this team, for the Raiders, and I just think the Raiders up and down are a better team. So there's that. Okay, go. Now we go to Miami, week 2.
Loss.
You had it as a loss when we did this, and you still have it as a loss, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Joe?
Loss.
Why, Mark, though? I mean, you still the same reasons. They're just not going to be ready to go to Miami and win.
Yeah, I just think that's a little shop of horrors down there. I think this early in the season, I don't think the circus is in town yet, because it is going to be a circus down there. You've been saying that, Chris, right? With Tony Montana there, the coach. I think that.
Like if that was like week 7 or 8.
Week 7 or 8, I think it's a dumpster fire down there. But week 2, I think they'll still be able. Miami will win the game.
I had it as a win. It's now a loss for me because I don't think we're going to see Christian Gonzalez on this field for the first few weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I had a prediction on Corso Catone last week. I said he may play week 1, but by week 4 or 5, he's going to come up with another injury, maybe maybe the same hamstring, and you won't see him for the rest of the season.
Right.
So
I just don't think defensively we're as strong as I thought we were going to be, and this is one of those games where, like you say, Shapahara is down there. It's just,
Yeah.
Okay, so now we come home for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Loss.
I have him as a loss as well.
You had it as a win, Mark. So tell us why you
I'm
changed.
flipping it because I think Rodgers and Metcalf have developed a very good rapport down there. And I think Metcalf is going to be resurgent. And I think Pittsburgh's offense, this is going to be Rodgers' last go. I just think Pittsburgh has an offense that's going to score on us. And I think that their defense, Tomlin, Chris, historically has been able to get pressure with Watt and those guys. I think they're going to have a field day with our offensive line.
Okay. I had it as a loss. Joe had it as a loss. We kept it as a loss, so we're going to move on from that. For all the reasons you said, I agree. Carolina.
Where is that game at, though, Chris? You got to let us know where
it's at home. It's at home. It's
at us? Okay.
Yeah, you had it as a loss, as did I, and Joe had it
I'm gonna continue with that as a loss. I think Carolina, Chris, is going to be a much better football team this year.
I agree. I got them going 0-4 here. This is the fourth loss. Joe, you had it as a win.
I got them as a win. Yeah, because I look at it different. I understand the way you guys look at it as far as, everything we've talked about, you've been talking about. But I always look at some things that people don't think about, like the first week win and then come back and they're thinking they're all like all that, and then they lose 2 and then come back and they need to win something. So I think this is one of those games where they win one at home before they go.
I just think Carolina finished the game, the year so strong that, I just think they're a better football. People just think Carolina, they can't suck. It's Carolina, they suck. No. That's a better football team than people think. And they're going to challenge for that division down there. Not that that's saying much, but I think they're going to challenge.
Yeah, too. You're right, Chris.
So, okay, now at Buffalo, Joe.
You were going to ask?
Well, I mean, Joe. Okay, I'll ask Joe because Joe had it as a win.
I had it as a win, and I think I want to swap it out.
You think?
I want them. I think they're gonna have a loss. But I had them at a loss when the Bills come to town. I mean, yeah. And I'm gonna change that to a win actually. So I may not change my numbers yet, but that's a loss.
So that's a loss. So by the way, I got them at 0-5 right now.
No hope.
So you know.
Look at a Patriots fan over here. No hope at all for this team.
Be a fan. I'm a fanalist. Okay. So but Mark's got them at 1-4. You got them at 2-3 at the 5. So okay. So now they go to New Orleans. At New Orleans. We all had it as wins before.
I'm gonna keep that as a win.
As I am I. Right.
I think New Orleans, Chris, has they have a lot of problems down there, I think.
They're in worse shape than we are.
Yeah, their roster's terrible.
They have a quarterback issue. They got a lot of issues down there.
Yep.
So yeah, I got that. That to me, that's their first win. It's a road win.
Oh wow.
All right, at Tennessee. Because
There's
you understand,
no way.
guys, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's week 6. Now we're in the week 6, 7, and 8, and I'm going to start to see our team start to, the offensive line start to play a little better. Right?
There's no way Vrabel's going back to Tennessee and losing that game.
Right, I agree. But and a lot more so for me, Joe. What do you got them as?
I had them as a loss.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to keep them as a loss.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping that is a good loss where it does go up Vrabel's ass and he comes home and gets harder.
Chris, what is your thinking around that Tennessee game? You were going to say something.
Yeah, because I'm looking at that game and I'm saying, okay, we're now into week 7. Okay. Yep. And I'm saying, okay, well, all right. The offensive line, if they do the right thing and play Wilson and play the rookies, by then, I think you're going to start to see them come into form a little bit more. Where you're going to start to see Campbell play better, Wilson play better, and I think they're going to get more continuity, provided there's no injuries. And that's why I think, and by then, I think if Diggs is playing, I think you'll start to, whatever you're going to get from him, you're going to get it in the middle of the season.
I'm glad you brought Diggs up, Chris. Do you think he'll go week 1 against the Raiders?
No. No, I don't. I don't think we're going to have Diggs, and I don't think we're going to have Gonzalez. I think that when they drop that inactive list, we're going to lose our minds.
Okay.
Tune in that week, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so now we are home now to Cleveland.
Win.
Yeah, you had it as a win. You're keeping it as a win. I had it as a win, and I'm going to also keep. This is the little stretch that I'm going to have them peel off 3 wins in a row.
Well, I think Cleveland, Chris, is another team. Do they even have a quarterback? Like, what are they doing there? They're playing around with Flacco and Gabriel and Sanders. I still think Sanders at that point should be the starter, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Joe.
And then that one changed my mind because of that same situation. The Browns.
You got us a win now.
Yeah.
I just think there's 2 minutes, and I want to do one more, Joe, and then we're going to go to break. Yep. I just feel like the quarterback situation is that, by then, Flacco, I think he's going to be getting pushed by a couple of these other guys. I think there's going to be some issues. I think Sanders is going to be irritated, and there's going to be a lot of that crap going on. Cleveland stuff, Cleveland stuff. Plus, we're at home, and I got them winning 3 in a row now at that point. So we'll do that. Now, let's handle the Atlanta game, and then we'll go to break. So now they're home. These are 2 home games in a row: Cleveland and then Atlanta. Atlanta's an interesting team, isn't it?
I'm going to say that's a loss.
You had it as a loss, but go ahead, tell me why.
It's a loss because I think by that time of the season, Penix will be. I think Penix will have he'll have a good rapport with those receivers. I think that offense by that point with Penix will be rolling, and I just don't think our defense is good enough, Chris. I think they're going to come in there, score. Probably, maybe they outscore you. I don't know, but I just don't think you're going to be able to handle that offense. The running backs, I think, yeah.
I actually have it as a win, and I'm keeping it as a win. It's going to be the first time in, I think, 1,000 days that the Patriots win 2 back-to-back home games.
Wow.
Years it's been since it has happened.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you have?
I think I had it as a loss. I don't think they're going to come out of this. I think they got the pass rush. Pearson and Walker are going to kind of take charge and ruffle the feathers too much so that we're going to lose by a field goal, one of those sort of situations where it's 3 points, but it's still a loss. Something like that.
So a close game, but a loss nonetheless.
Wow, Joe, Chris, I'm impressed. Joe did his homework. Joe's talking about pass rushes from Atlanta. I'm impressed, Chris.
You got a few nuggets every now and again.
Maybe you could teach this guy a thing or two about some pass rushes over here. You know what I mean?
You're a trap.
All right. That's pretty much the first half of the season. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to continue with our picks. Stick around.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Call or go online to corsolawgroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys.
Back in with more Pats Nation. All right, guys. Now we go on the road to Tampa. Well, you and I had it as a loss, and then Joe had it as a win. Yeah, I do too.
Loss.
Yeah.
That wide receiver room from Tampa Bay, Chris, is going to run all over the field against us if they're healthy.
I agree. And if your prediction is correct, Gonzalez will not be playing at that point.
And if he's not playing, it's going to be ugly. It could get ugly down there. It could be an ugly game.
I just think they're a better football team.
They are better football team.
Talent-wise. They're just better, and you're going to Tampa, and, Joe, what do you think? You had it as a win.
I had it as a win, and I think for the similar reason their pass rush, but I think they're going to correct that for this game because you have a good pass rush. But I think they're going to correct it with some significant type of plays in order to squeak by a win. Another close one, but I think it's a squeak by. That rolls them into another win for the next week, which is a good win. And I'll be at that game, the Jets I'm talking about.
Okay, got it. All right, yes. Here we are now with the Jets, Thursday Night Football. Okay, Joe's going to be at that game. And you said, Joe, you had that as a win?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So Thursday Night Football, Is that the game? Is that the rivalry game with the new that uniform they just
the uniform, the new
showcased?
uniform.
That's the rivalry game, right? That Thursday night game. So you'll be there for those New Jerseys, Joe.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
cool.
they're interesting. I do like them bringing back the NE symbol, the logo there that they haven't used in a while. I like that logo. But yeah.
Chris, you had an interesting take on the jersey.
It looks like the Colts.
Yeah.
You called them the Indian Colts.
You know, I don't understand all that crap. You know, there's a big long explanation to the jerseys. They're talking about the friggin' the points of light, 1,000 points of light, the lights, each
really?
point represents some kind of thing for nautical this, and you know, it's these are the frost blue or whatever because it's a nor'easter, and
that's where they came up with the color. Yeah. I don't know what the hell.
I do like the white helmets though. That I like.
I didn't really get a good look at them. I didn't get a good look at those. They're matte white, right?
Oh, you know what? I couldn't see.
It's not the white helmet, Chris, that they would wear, the color white that they would wear with the the Patriot on it.
This is a stick your hand in your pocket and spend more goddamn money. That's all this is. That's all it is.
Well, this is a Nike promotion. They're doing it. Yeah, this is a Nike promotion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, how much you think they get for that? Listen, the Patriots. All you people out there are going to go put your hands in your pockets and you're going to go buy all this crap and fall right into the same stupid trap, you know? We have football players. That's what we want. I don't care about the uniforms.
Well, it's like baseball. I mean, the Yankees stay traditional, but all these other teams have these City Connect uniforms. The Red Sox got those yellow uniforms. They got those green uniforms they put on, right?
Yeah, I don't like all that stuff. For me, it's. I want the old Pat Patriot. You see back there? Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for.
All right.
What do you think, Ma? You like the uniforms or not?
I'm
not going to
fan.
talk about it at the end, but talk about it.
Well, I had to bring it up when I didn't realize Joe was going to that game, so that's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of the uniform. No, I'm not. The helmet, Joe's right. I am interested to see the helmet. Really see the helmet when I actually put them on in a game, because the helmet did look like it was not bad, Joe. But I'm not a fan of the uniform. I'm not a fan of the color at all.
Yeah.
Anything's better than the ones they have now. The home uniforms they have now.
Home uniforms got to be changed.
The worst in football.
Yeah, they're going to be changed.
Worst uniform in football, in my opinion. And they used to have the best uniform in football.
Yeah, they're awful.
With the red shirts and the white pants and the hat. Awesome.
Yeah.
They should just go back to that. All right, well, let's talk about that game then. Jets. It's our first look at the Jets, actually.
I'm going to say win.
Why?
Because
I give the people something. Give them something.
You asked why? Because it's the New York Jets. Like Tom Brady said, the Jets fans are going to leave the game in the third quarter throwing beer cans at the statue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. So that's your yeah. Well, for me, listen, I
just think the Jets, Chris. I mean, I understand they should be better. They got a new coach. I think he's brought some things in there that they should be better. But at the end of the day, it's the Jets. I can't not gonna pick the Jets. It's the Jets.
Last year I brought a Jets fan to the Jets game, and I'm gonna bring him again.
I'm not getting my tickets then. No.
But he
Chris, he's gonna have a guy sitting in your seats with Jets gear on.
Are you crazy? I didn't know that. I didn't know you did that last year.
Last year, the best thing he said though last year was this, because it was that game. It was kind of close, and the best thing he says is he's like, nah, the Jets. He's like, the Jets. They always find a way to lose. So I'll give him that quote. They always find a way to lose. That's it. That's what's going to happen.
No, I don't even want to finish anymore now.
You're letting a Jet fan see your
I'm not. I didn't know anything about that.
No.
I'm going to talk after this, Mr. Director over there. Okay. So, all right. So, Jets. So we all have it as a win, actually. And then what happens? November 23rd. So this will be like roughly around Thanksgiving time. They go to Cincinnati.
Loss. They're gonna get this. They're gonna get the doors blown off them in this game.
You're gonna get their ass kicked in this game.
Yeah.
They may not get their ass kicked a lot this year, but this will be a game that they actually, because I think Cincinnati is going to be I think Cincinnati's going to have a bounce back year. I mean, I watched them play their
too.
guys in preseason, which tells me that, they're finally getting an idea that you can't start the season in October because for some reason that stupid team in Kansas City just, people wet themselves so badly against them. They find ways to win games they shouldn't win.
Well, if the Bengals have their defense will start to gel by that point, Joe's going to be in good form. That's all you need to know is that Joe's going to light it up.
I agree with you, Christo. I think this is going to be a bounce back year for them.
I think Burrow's going to have an MVP season.
I think that by that point, he's going to be showing some signs of MVP stats. So, we'll be that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fair enough. All right. So now we go December 1st. We go, looks like it's going to be at home against the New York Giants. Tommy DeVito's former team. You're going to get payback. Will he be playing by then?
DeVito playing?
No, but DeVito might give them an insight into the concepts and what it is that the Giants like to do offensively, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Stables.
I know that, but there's no way I can. If you think I'm picking the New York Giants, Chris, I don't care how bad we are. There's no way I am picking the New York goddamn Giants. Patriots win.
I had this as a loss.
If you pick the Giants, I'm getting off.
I will, please. I had this one. I'll say, wait a minute, what? Because this is going to screw up my entire friggin' hold. Okay, I had it as a loss. Just because I didn't. But now that I'm looking at this New York team and I'm looking at the quarterback situation, and I'm like, okay, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson stinks. I mean, that's it. I think by then Dot will be playing.
Yeah.
By then, I think he will
yeah.
play. So I'm gonna turn this into a win. I'm gonna turn it into a home win. A gritty, tough, fight it out home win for the Patriots. Joe.
That's why it's going to be a win because they're going to need to start showing something to the fans at least at this point. And so that's the game. And they're going to take that into the next week, and they're going to take another win the same way.
Okay, so now they're going to go to the bye. Now they have a late bye. They have a week 14 bye. So, Mark, you got, let's see here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 6 wins right now and 7. You got them at 6 and 7. Seems about right to you?
Yeah.
Joe,
I might be generous 1 win maybe, but
Joe, you have them at 7 and 6, and I got them at 3, 4. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got them at 6 too. 6.
Oh, you got them at 6 too? I didn't realize.
Yeah, I got them at 6.
All right.
Yeah. So
I think we're being generous.
Coming out of the bye. Okay, let's pick it up. Buffalo at home.
Loss.
I had it as a win. Joe, you had it as a loss.
I have it as a win.
So now you changed it to a win.
That's the one I changed, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm changing mine to a loss. I thought by then the Patriots would be purring a little bit. I don't like this roster. I don't like it against that team, and I'm not going to be stupid. So that's a loss. Okay, now, at Baltimore, I mean, this is going to be another ass-kicking.
Loss.
Yeah, loss.
I mean, again, this game and the Cincinnati game are the game where the reality games. I got to call those 2 games the reality. Where
it's going to show you how far away you actually are, right?
Right, exactly. So, okay, and then now you go to the Jets.
At New York?
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be a loss for me.
I'm going to say a loss.
Okay, wait a minute now. Hold on. Let me back up here for a second. Yeah.
This guy.
So you got them. So okay. So it's just a strictly a home away thing for you, Mark?
Yeah. I think that Glenn. I think it could be a shitty weather game, windy in the Meadowlands, maybe a little rain. One of those rain games, defensive game, field goal game, and the Jets pull it out late. And so I take the Jet. I'll take the Jets.
Okay. All right. So you're switching. You had it as a win.
Yeah, I got it as a loss. I got it as a loss.
I had it as a loss, and I'm going to continue to keep it as a loss because of that. I just think by then I don't know if New England's in the hunt at this point. I'm not.
I disagree. I think well, the loss for me is going to be because I think the win in Buffalo is going to give them false hope that they may have a shot to do something or other, and none of it's going to work out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Now, last game of the season, home against the Dolphins, where this guy, the podcast blurb we heard, they thought it was going to be 0-degree weather over there.
I'm going to say it's a win. I'll agree that we'll win that game at home. I think at that point, Chris, Miami would have packed it up. They're packed up and ready to go home. Who knows if the coach is fired by then for them. I think that team could get ugly down there this year, Chris, with that team. You know what I mean? I'm going to say we win that game.
Yeah, for me, that's the only reason why is that they're packed up in that team, because I think that team's going to be a dumpster fire. I really do. I think that team's going to be worse than us.
Yeah, which means they're packed up and they're packed up. You got them coming up here at that time of the year. They're done. They're finished. So yeah, I'll take New England.
And so, Joe, what do you think?
I have a win. Yeah.
All right. So you still have it as a win. All right. Okay. So, all right. Well, let me tally these up and give me more thoughts on uniform while I'm doing that. If you want to play the Jeopardy song or something.
If I had that Jeopardy song, that would work. Yeah. Oh, you know what? We're going to bring back too. Let's let all the folks know that September 14th, week 2, the Pats Nation is going to go live. Post-game show, 30 minutes following this Dolphins game we were talking about here. Oh, no.
What can they expect to hear from us, Mark, in that post-game? Give some people highlights. Why are they tuning into us, Mark?
Well, first of all, Chris, we give them an on the spot analysis that other programs you listen to say, well, I got to go back and watch the tape. I got to go back. No, we don't. We got the tape embedded in our brains. We don't want to go back and watch tape. We tell you right then and there how it is, and we're 95% of the time we're right, Chris. Even after we go back and watch the tape. And we're gonna have the Sunday Stiff. We're gonna have Drake Mania. We're gonna have all kind of things, Chris, like we always have. And we may even have a couple of special guests pop in. Who knows?
That's true. That is also true. Now you had him mark as a loss, right?
I didn't. I have this Miami game. I have us as a win.
The first one. That's right. I have him as a loss. So I'm thinking that it's going to be a
no, the first Miami game, I have it as a loss. The first Miami game, Joe. I have it as a loss.
That's why people
have it as a loss.
They're going to be riled up.
I have the tallies. I have.
Go ahead, give us the tallies.
Okay, so Mark and I both have them at 7 and 10. So Mark, you and I took 2 wins away from them from when we did this in May. Okay. Joe, you actually added a win.
Did I add a win?
You got him at 9. You have him at 9 and 8. Unless I'm wrong here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you got him at 9 and 8, up 1 game. So you got him winning a game after all that crap you've heard us say. You didn't listen to 1 ounce of it, and you got him winning an extra game. And then us, we got 2. Mark, I think that's about right. 7 wins.
I think that's about right, Chris. Like I said, and I think that's about right. Listen, you're almost doubling your win total from last year, Chris.
Right.
Not bad.
Which is, I mean,
this roster?
Yeah.
3 more wins. It's really 4 more wins.
Yeah, because it's really 4. You're right.
You can't count that Buffalo game. Like that's
really
a
4.
preseason game.
Yeah.
So if you improve 4 wins, that's what I told you. The coaching staff's going to be what? 2 to 4 wins that makes you 2 to 4 wins better. That's the coaching staff. What this also tells me is that Drake Maye is not going to take this huge leap like we thought, is he?
No.
I don't think he is. People always forget about the sophomore slump anyways. You know what I mean? So,
So we're going to see if our predictions are correct, Chris. As the season rolls through. I know you'll be pulling this sheet out as the year goes on.
I will be pulling it out and make sure you're tuning in. So good job, gentlemen. That's our win-loss total for the season. But the Pats Nation was presented by Corso Catone, Saturdays, noon Eastern. Hey, we're going to have Patriots preview of that Raiders game. So make sure you're tuning in next Saturday, Yankees, Red Sox, Colts, comments, and come back next weekend, 8 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have our pregame breakdown. It'll be the first pregame show of the day. We're going to have for that Patriots-Raiders game. You're going to want to miss that. We'll have all of our breakdown. And don't forget, like Joe said, to come back to our Patriots post-game show on the Pats Nation, the only Patriots post-game show worth watching. 30 minutes
September 14th.
on September 14th, following that Week 2 matchup against the Dolphins. All that and so much more. We are the Pats Nation. Enjoy your Sunday.